Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about getting started with JavaScript. And if you've already watched the Python videos, then some of this is going to seem a little bit repetitive to you, especially when we come to installing software. But if you're new and you haven't done this before, then awesome. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to get started with JavaScript. We're going to talk about software you need to install and how to run this through your web browser if you don't have the ability to install software. For example, like if you're on a Chromebook or on a school computer where you can't install things. So why don't we get started today and we'll learn about JavaScript. Here we go. So as we get started, go ahead and open your web browser. And I want you to go to code.visualstudio.com. And under this window right here, it'll say code editing redefined. And then you'll see where you have these builds. You'll see download for Windows, Mac OS, and you go ahead and if you're on your own computer, you can do this. So go ahead and click the Windows and Mac, whichever one you have. Stable one is fine. Now I'm not going to tell you how to install software. I think that's something you already know how to do. And so go ahead and install it. Okay, great. So you've already installed it. Now what's next? So I want you to go ahead and open the piece of software, Visual Studio. And when you open it, you're going to be shown a welcome screen. You can go ahead and close out that welcome screen by clicking the little X at the top. And after you've closed that tab out, I'll show you what extensions you need. And then I'll show you how we open up another project tab. So this is what you should see now. So I'm going to close this welcome screen. And I'm going to go ahead and close this Explorer part here. Now, before we begin, I want you to go ahead and click on this fourth one down. It's called extensions. It looks like Tetris. So go ahead and click on it and you have everything here. Now, I already have a lot of extensions installed, but what we'll do is, why don't we type in some, yours will be empty. So why don't we type in some things you'll need? First, you'll probably need something called live server. So if you type in live server and you hit enter, you'll have this first one. This is the one you want. Now mine says disable or uninstall because I've already installed it. For you, it'll say install. And so go ahead and install it. And once you've done that, the second thing you're going to need, I like to have my code nice and clean. And so I like to use Beautify. And under Beautify, it allows me to have my code properly indented, properly tabbed. And this is the one I like to use. It's pretty good. It's got, at the time of this video recording, 4.8 million downloads. So go ahead and install this one too. So once you're done with that, click on the top icon again, the Explorer, and we can open an entire folder of projects, or we can clone repository from GitHub. You don't need to do that just yet. Just go ahead and click this empty window right in the middle. And then we'll close the Explorer tab by clicking on this icon again. And if you don't have this, by the way, just go File, New File, and then you should have this. And to get started with JavaScript, all you need is to go to the bottom right-hand corner and where you see plain text, click on that, and it says select language mode. And you just type in JavaScript. Now, be careful. We're not writing Java, and we're not writing JavaScript React. We're writing JavaScript. It should have the yellow JS. Once you have the yellow JS logo in the upper top, we're ready to go. So that is the way that we're going to write our JavaScript code if you have your own computer and if you've already installed the software. Now we're going to do it in the web-based way. So if you can't install any software, and if you're like on a Chromebook or on a school computer or whatnot, why don't we write JavaScript to the web? Now it's not as clean and polished and it's not as awesome as writing it on your own computer, but nevertheless, it still works. And because it still works, it's awesome. So let's take a look now. So we're going to go to a site called Repl.it, and you should see the URL somewhere at the bottom of your screen. You're going to have to sign up. You'll have to sign up with your personal or your school account, any account that you want. And after you've signed up, you'll probably be brought to a screen like this. And if you don't see it, you click on Home at the left-hand side. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see something called New REPL, this blue button with the plus symbol. If you click it, it's going to ask you to create new REPL and what language you want to work in. Well, we're going to work in JavaScript, so why don't you scroll down until you see JavaScript. Click that. And then right here, it's going to have a name. Now, it automatically populates names. Mine is Deserted Lemon Chiffon. you know, you don't need that, right? So you can erase that if you want, and you can say my first. I like to keep it all as one word, and you've noticed that I didn't put any spaces. That's not a mistake. I purposefully did it by uppercasing the first letter of every word. It's called camel case. In fact, proper camel case would be like this: my first code. You might have the option to make this public or private. I have a paid account, so I have the option to make it private, but if you want, you can make it public. And then you hit on create REPL. Once you do that, you'll be brought to the screen that looks like this. Now, it will have a left side, a middle panel, and a right panel. And we're going to be running this on a server. So this server runs in somewhere else. It's not on your computer. But you can have this middle panel is where you write all your code. So we say this is where you write all of your code. I just made a comment, by the way, so the code's not going to read that. But we can say stuff like console.log. If you want to do this now, that's fine. We'll say hello world. Once I have this, I hit run. And then boom, right here is where your output would be. It's on the right-hand side panel. Middle panel is where I code. The right panel is my output. And the left side is where my files are. And I can make more files in here if I wanted to, but for now, we're not going to. We'll just follow along. So this is the little tricky part. As you're watching my JavaScript videos, I might be writing in REPL, or I might be using VS Code. I think, to be honest, I would probably write it on my own computer, because we're going to be creating like HTML files and we're going to be creating JavaScript files. You can do the same thing in REPL, right? So you can still add on files if you wanted to. So don't get confused and just kind of follow along the best you can. If you have questions or comments, you can always just leave them down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I would love it if you subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, I look forward to us working together, writing JavaScript, and making awesome things. Okay? Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.